Hi everyone, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Amaka. In this tutorial, we are going to be learning how to cage and flesh your funnel corset. Now, if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, please click on the subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell so that you will be notified whenever I upload new videos. Now, we have a paid course on how to make funnel corset. That course is very detailed, very easy to understand, and beginners friendly. If you are interested, you can send a WhatsApp message to the number that is displayed on the screen. The class will be starting on the 20th of this month. Make sure you don't miss it. See you in class. So now I've cut out my fabric and I've also cut out the wording. Now what I'm going to be padding is the lining, not the main fabric. So I have my wording here. On the fabric, I added half-inch seam allowance, but on the wording, I didn't add seam allowance. So on the wording, I didn't add seam allowance to it. So I'm going to iron this wording to my fabric. Now take note, it's the lining that I'm padding. This is a lining. What I have here is a lining, not the main fabric. So I'm going to place the wording on the lining and I'll iron it together with my lightweight interfacing. So take note, now this was cut on fold. This is the center front and it was cut on fold. So I'm going to iron it on the wrong side of my fabric, the wrong side of the lining. So I have two of these. So I'm also going to iron my lightweight interfacing on this bustier. So now this is me ironing my lightweight interfacing on my bustier. Now this is cotton hairstay. I'm using cotton hairstay. So after ironing, now this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to sew it. Now I'm going to place this on this, right side facing right side. I'll place this part on this part and I'll sew. I'm going to sew from the lower part, just like this, and I'll turn it. And I'm also going to do the same thing on this one. I'll sew from here and I'll turn it. I'm going to sew with half-inch seam allowance. Now I'm matching the bust point, the part that I notched, and I'm going to sew. So after sewing the first one, I'm going to sew the second one. Now I'm sewing with half-inch seam allowance. So after sewing, now this is what I have. Now you see what I have. Now I'm going to notch the middle. Don't forget to notch. Now the same thing I did on this one, the same way I sewed this, that's how I'm also going to sew the main fabric. Now take note, it's the lining that I'm caging, not the main fabric. So now I'm going to draw my lines, the boning lines. So now I'm going to draw my style lines. Now I'll follow this line to sew I'm going to sew the boning on these lines. So I'm going to draw some vertical and horizontal lines. And I'm going to follow the lines to sew my bone. So I'm going to bone all these lines that I've drawn. I'm going to bone here. I'll fix another bone that will go this way. And another one. So after that, I'm going to bone here. I'm going to bone here to this part. And I'll bone this point to this point. I forgot to draw the last line. Now there's supposed to be line here, because I'm also going to bone here. Now take note, I'm not boning here. Now this is my seam allowance. I'm only boning from this point. I'm not going to bone my seam allowance. I'm going to avoid my seam allowance. Now let me show you something. Let me show you something. You see this cup? Now this is how this cup is going to be on your outfit. This is the part that will pop out. This part, this part is going to be on your body. So let's assume that my hand is your boobs now. This part is the side that is going to pop out. This part is going to be on your body. The right side of your lining is going to be on your body. Now this boning has two sides. One side is curved. You see how curved this part is? That is how you should place it on your lining, on your cup, so that your cup will pop out. You see this curved part? This curved part. Now this part that is curved like this, let it be on your cup like this, so that your cup will pop out. So that when you wear your corset, your boobs will pop out. Now if you do it the other way around, bear in mind that the boning will flatten your cup. So if you do it like this, it will take this shape and your cup will not pop out. It will flatten your cup. So don't do this. So don't place your boning this way, it will flatten your cup. Place it the other way around. So this is what you will do. Now you see how it is. You see this roundness. Just place it on your cup like this and sew. Now while sewing, you'll be sewing on the tip of your bone. On this thing that looks like seam allowance, that's where you sew on. On the two sides, you sew on those two sides that look like seam allowance. So after sewing this line, I'm going to sew the second part. That seam allowance, I'll be sewing on the tip. That part that looks like seam allowance, that's where I'll be sewing on. Now you might be wondering why my cup is short. Now it's because this cup is for funnel corset. It's not like your normal cup that is up to the waist point. This is not up to waist point. It's the cup is stopped at the under bust point. Do you understand? It's for funnel corset. That's why it's short. But bear in mind that this caging technique is for all cups. Like, it goes for all bustiers. You can use whether the bustier is to the waist point or to the hip point. It's the same method of caging. You cage just to the under bust point, so it's the same method. Do you understand? So registration for our funnel corset class is ongoing. If you're interested, you can send me a DM on WhatsApp. It's strictly WhatsApp. Send a DM to this number. Send a message to this number, to the number you're seeing on the screen. The class is going to start on the 20th of this month, 20th of August 2026. So I'm done with these ones. So I'm going to sew on these ones on the horizontal lines. Now see how I'm placing my boning. You see the curved part? I'm placing you see how curvy that part is. While you're doing it, make sure that your fabric is not folding. Try to open your fabric, stretch your fabric, not the boning, no, your fabric. Make sure that your fabric is not folding, like it's not pleating or gathering, or just open your fabric. See, I'm placing the next one. Are you seeing? Popping, it's popping. You see what I was saying? If you follow the curved part of that boning, your bustier will curve naturally. It will just pop out on its own. I'm not even done with my boning. So just make sure you follow that circle. The way it's coiled. Just follow it and sew. Let me sew them the second time. Just bear in mind that as you're sewing, your thread will be cutting and cutting. It's normal. It shouldn't be strange to you. So this is the last one. Now this one is going to go this way. So this is it. Now I'm done sewing. You see what I have here? You can also see the plenty thread on top of on top of the cup, so it's normal. So I have my fiber here and I also have my hemming gum here. I'm going to use the fiber to flesh the cup. I'll start by placing my hemming gum on the cup. Then I'm going to place after that I'm going to place the fiber on the cup. Then I'll iron it. Now when I iron it, the heat from the iron will activate the gum on the hemming gum, and it will make the fiber to stick to the cup. So this is how to flesh your cup. Place your fiber on the cup, cut it to size, and you iron. So I'm bringing back my tailor's ham and I'm going to iron it. So after fleshing, now this is what I have. So the next thing I'm going to do is to cover this with the main fabric. Now this is the main fabric. I'm going to place it on it just like this. So I'm going to place it in such a way that the right side will be facing the right side. That is, the right side of the lining will be facing the right side of the main fabric, and I'll sew. I'm going to sew it with half-inch seam allowance. After sewing, I'll notch. After notching, I'll push the seam allowance on the lining and top stitch. So take note, after sewing the upper part, I'm going to pipe the lower part. So I'm going to pipe here. So I'm sewing with half-inch seam allowance. So like I said, after sewing, you should notch. After notching, you push the seam allowance on the lining and top stitch. So after sewing, I'm going to turn it to the right side. So that's just it with this tutorial. If you found this tutorial helpful, please click on the like button. Share this video with your friends. Share this video in your sewing groups. Subscribe to my channel if you've not done so. Feel free to ask questions. I'll be in the comment section to answer all your questions. We've come to the end of this tutorial. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye. Please, if you want to join the class, send me a DM on WhatsApp. Send a WhatsApp message to this number that is displayed on the screen. Bye.